It's time for From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine with Trey Schaap. A golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around, trying to put it in a 4 1/4 inch diameter hole. From the Shortgrass is presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and brought to you by Stevens Incorporated, an independent financial services firm with the freedom to focus on what matters most. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. We partner with you to deliver high-yield results by managing, developing, and investing in top-quality hospitality assets. And now, from the Shortgrass, here's your host, Trey Schaap.
Welcome to another edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. I am your host, Trey Schaap. In our last episode, I sat down with Stewart Cink for part 1 of a 2-part episode, and this is part 2 of that conversation. We pick it up with Tiger Woods. Stewart Cink discussing Tiger coming onto the scene of the PGA Tour and what it was like competing against what he calls the best golfer to ever live. That's coming up in a matter of minutes. At UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, they are dedicated to keeping you in the game. From sports injuries to joint replacement, they provide world-class care right here in Arkansas. I'm back with part 2 of my interview with Stewart Cink. After this, stay with us.
Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group is the leader in the state in managing hotel properties. From El Dorado to Jonesboro to Fayetteville to Kansas City and back home in Little Rock, you will find a Beechwood Pinnacle managed hotel property. Are you looking for a weekend staycation? Book the Hilton Garden Inn located on Rock Street and enjoy the Agassi 7-rooftop bar with fantastic views of the Little Rock skyline. Open Sunday through Thursday evenings from 4 to 11 and Friday and Saturday from 5 to midnight. Find them on the web at bphotels.com. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group.
UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is taking golf to the next level. As the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for Razorback Athletics, UAMS Health covers all 19 Razorback sports programs, including golf, and is the official medical partner of the Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens. They're also proud to sponsor professional golfers Ken Duke and Glenn Day. Have a golf injury? Call Ortho at 501-686-TOSH to schedule your appointment today. That's 501-686-8674. At Stevens, our philosophy is to invest every dollar as if it were our own, to seize opportunity, to anticipate rather than react, to deliver constant focus in an ever-changing world, and to pursue the objectives of our clients in order to help them reach their financial goals. A proven history of helping companies and individuals. Stevens, member NYSE SIPC. Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. I am your host, Trey Schaap. Stewart Cink won the 2009 British Open. That is his only major on his record. Also came up and competed with the likes of Tiger Woods, David Duval, and many more. Played on several Ryder Cup teams and several President's Cup teams. We are about to discuss that and much more in part 2 of my sit-down with Stewart Cink. On the tee, Stewart Cink.
The 18th at Bay Hill, I remember Tiger needed a par to get him into a playoff with Phil. And Tiger gets up there on the 18th, and he ends up making birdie and wins the tournament. And you just see the dejection in Phil's face. What was it like for those of you out there on the PGA Tour when he was on, going to a tournament? Do you have something in the back of your mind where it's like, I'm playing for second?
Well, at the beginning of the tournament, you never thought that. You kind of always thought, this is my chance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I know if I want to win this tournament, I'm going to have to go up against Tiger, or, you know, he's going to have an off week. So, and you know, he's as great as he played, he's the best that's ever been as far as I'm concerned. And he's still only won 26% of the time or something like that. You probably
still
know
have
stats.
bad weeks.
Yeah, and so it's just golf. But the door was open for somebody to win. Less than most guys, but you just when you played with him, he just had the confidence that you could see, and he just knew that he was going to be there at the end. And he also knew that he had the goods to sort of like carry it across the finish line if he was there, because I don't know, he just had this great toughness and belief about what he could do, and all the skills too. I mean, he wasn't the straightest driver all the time. He started off when he's early in his career, he was one of the straightest and longest drivers. Mm-hmm. That didn't last forever, the straightness, but the power, the short game shots, the imagination, and then just also choosing the correct shot, you know, even if it was risky, it was sometimes still correct. He just did it all, and he executed.
What do you remember about your first win on the PGA Tour?
I remember there's one specific shot that I remember that it was kind of a do or die moment. I hit it. It was in Hartford on the 17th hole, and it's a hole that bends around this pond, and the second shot is kind of over the pond. And I hit it in the left rough on a downslope, and I had to decide, like, what do I do? It wasn't that long a shot. It was like 130. But do I go over the water out of this rough and it's risky, or do I just lay it up? And I think I had maybe like a one-shot lead, and I was pretty far out in front of the leaders. So there was a lot still that could happen back behind me. And decided that, like, this is kind of like a chance. This is my time.
Got to go for it.
Got to go for it. And I hacked this thing out of the rough, and it got over the water by like 1 foot. And up on the green, I two-putted. And nobody else really did a whole lot, and I ended up winning. So just the feeling of belonging is what came. Like I've proven it to myself now. I'd already played well enough to where I earned my card for the next year. So I already kind of felt like, you know, it's not like I'm just by chance out here on the PGA Tour. But once you win, you know, it opens up a lot more doors.
Was your wife there for that one?
Yeah, my wife was there, and our 2 kids were there. They were both tiny, and they were there. They used to travel a lot at that time before they were in school full time.
That had to be nice to have them out there, because life on the tour, it's not all glitz and glamour like some people think that it is, right?
No, it's not. I mean, it's just like any life, really. And I get to play a game I love still, but there's still travel, and there's still, you know, restaurants, and there's still frustrations. And then a lot of times there's being away from home and missing out on things, and, you know, they're missing you too. And it's not a really good, stable environment for the family, and it takes its toll. We've seen it. I mean, it's taken its toll on us, but we've seen it in a lot of families. You know, there's just some unfortunate endings and in the picture out there. So it's a sacrifice, and it takes. I tell you what, it takes a special spouse to put up with it.
Yeah,
my wife's been awesome the whole time.
You got to number 5 in the world. I mean, was it a goal of yours, Stewart, to get inside the top 10?
It never was, really. When I was ranked high, the world rankings weren't the focus that they are now. And actually, now it seems like the signature events are what's focused on by everybody. So the world rankings kind of had their time in the sun, and it was a little after my time. So I just cared about winning tournaments, winning majors, getting in the Tour Championship. That was what I wanted every year, because I didn't care what the number was by my name, as long as I was doing those things. And I won those, you know, events, and got in the Tour Championship a lot of times. And so I felt like I was accomplishing my goals. Never been a big goal setter per se. So the world ranking thing was I saw it like kind of a byproduct of playing well. And, you know, it was, that was cool though. I think that happened, it wasn't right after I won the British. It was in 08. Yeah. And
right before you won the
Hartford.
British.
Yeah, I won the British Open the next year. I won Hartford for the second time in 08.
Yep, and you finished runner-up to Tiger Woods in the WGC match play out in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's when
early
it was
in 08. Yeah.
36-hole final.
36-hole final. We played about 28 holes.
Yeah, I'm not going to say this. Can I say it?
Yeah.
8 and 7?
You can, if you give me permission to tell a funny story.
Go ahead.
Okay. So in that match, playing against Tiger Woods, and it's not like the whole field's playing against Tiger Woods. It's you against Tiger Woods, and he's playing unbelievable golf. I think the course wasn't playing that hard. I shot like 3 under par for my, you know, I mean, I played the kind of golf I'd be like probably on the cut line. Not great. Not terrible, not great. I think Tiger was like 13 under through 28 holes or whatever we played. What'd you say the score was?
8 and 7.
8 and 7. So that means we played 29 holes. So I guess Tiger must have been 9 up with 9 to play. And it was a par 5, and I don't remember what he was doing, but I had about a 30-foot eagle putt. And I was putting straight across the green. The pin was way left, and I was putting from the middle. And when I was walking into the ball, I saw right behind the flag or behind the hole, a golf cart pulled up and stopped, and it had the trophy on it. And I said before I wasn't a big goal setter, but I quickly crystallized a brand new goal in my mind, and that was, damn it, this isn't ending right here. I'm going to at least make them move that trophy one more hole. And so I was so determined on that shot, on that 30-footer. It had about 4 feet of break, and I made it. And I was like, I feel like I won today. And they had to get in that cart and, like, you know, the 8-point turnaround and drive it to the next hole.
Yeah.
Well, he won on the next hole. But I just thought, like, are you kidding me? Like, I would hit my ball right where I'm looking, straight down the hole and straight to and not far either. Like 30 feet on the other side of the hole was a cart with the trophy.
Yeah.
It was like a funeral march.
Oh, my gosh.
So made him move it to the next hole. It's par 3. And Tiger made birdie. He won.
Your one major that you won, the 2009 Open Championship at Turnberry, in a playoff. Aggregate 4-hole playoff against Tom Watson. There are some that are saying, why not let Tom Watson win at his age? And I'm like, you don't understand. When you're out there, you want to win as much as you can, and you're fighting. I mean, you're playing for the claret jug.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid, really, to hear people say that. There's a lot of people who've asked me about that, and I don't know if they're serious or not. I mean, I just give them the benefit of the doubt and just that they're probably not being serious.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if someone's not that familiar with playing golf or playing any sport, you don't get that many chances to win majors. There's not that many of them. So it's just, unless you're just one of a very select group of players, you just don't get chances every year to win. So, you're going to do everything you can to win when you get in the arena. And I played really well, and it was quite an amazing and surreal week, but especially that like 2-hour period there where it was like down to the wire and then playoff and then playing against Watson and the fans and everything. It was amazing.
When you were standing on the 18th green and Peter Dawson says,
and ladies and gentlemen, with a score of 278, the winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Stewart Cink.
what emotions went through you?
A lot of validation because of, I was not new on the tour. I was 36. And so I'd been out there for a long time, and I'd pretty much cemented myself as like, okay, I'm going to be out. I'm going to be here. But just had given up a lot, sacrificed a lot, family time. That's the main thing. I still don't know if it was worth it because of what you have to do and how hard you have to be on your family and, just constantly gone. I think the kids they adjust to it fine because they're, we could ask them, they're 31 and 27.
Yeah.
They always tell me, it's just like the way life was, and they didn't know any different, so it didn't bother them.
Right, they didn't.
But I think the marriage is where it's really tougher. And my wife's pretty much a single parent when I'm gone, and I was gone for over half the time, just right at half or just a little more than half the weeks I was away. And that's just hard. So that was really the first thing that went through my mind was like I hope this kind of makes it worth it. And to her, I hope she kind of felt like that same way. But just a lot of work. And, I'd been close in a couple majors and not finished.
Well, you tied for third in the Masters, the PGA, and you finished third solo in the U.S. Open.
That U.S. Open was the one that I was really close, and I was tied for the lead coming to the last hole.
Right.
And I made double.
Yeah.
Retief made.
I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah, I made. It was a fiasco in the last hole, and that was in 01. So 8 years later, that also popped through my mind on that last hole when I knew I had won. Is that I kind of felt like a little bit redemption from that. And funny thing that Retief Goosen also said the same thing when he won the next U.S. Open, and he said the same thing about that because he also had some regrets about that fiasco that he and I both did on that last green in Southern Hills. So
tough place to play.
But that was the main thing. Is like I felt validated. I felt like I had kind of capped off a pretty good body of work in my mind. I don't think I might have underperformed a little bit as far as like total number of wins, but it's hard to win. It's really hard out there.
You're on the PGA Tour Champions now. Little Rock has a PGA Tour Champion stop now. It's the second leg of the Charles Schwab Cup playoffs, the Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens. You played in it last year, played very well. What were your thoughts on Pleasant Valley and the first year event?
Well, I thought Pleasant Valley was a great place for the Champions event. It's a good course. It's fun. It's in great shape. Reminds me, there's a course here in Atlanta called Berkeley Hills, and I kept telling all my friends, like, hey, this place is like Berkeley Hills on steroids. It looks the same. The greens are the same. It's the same type of grass. And so, and I'm a member at Berkeley Hills too. So it's a place that I felt very comfortable. And, growing up in Florence, Alabama, it's not that far from Little Rock.
No.
It's only, I think you could probably get there in 4 hours.
Probably 4.5 maybe.
So I feel like it's my people too. And it's a nice southern, comfortable place. And I've played in several events over my career where it's the first edition. Like it's a new event on the calendar. And they're always very energetic. And Little Rock was no different. The fans were very supportive. They showed up. It was a good crowd and a lot of energy out there. So I think it's a tournament that's there to stay for a long, long time. Simmons Bank's great sponsor, and they have some sort of local ambassadors out on tour in Glenn Day and Ken Duke. So I enjoyed it. I look forward to coming back.
Unfortunately, you were paired with me in the Pro-Am, and we didn't do so hot, but Pro-Ams are part of what you guys do. Do you enjoy those, or is it a show? I mean, I know Rocco told his group that, hey, guys, I'm out here to work on my game. I don't want you to ask me any questions. I'm not going to look at your swing. I'm not going to do anything. And then all of a sudden, after about a couple of seconds, the guys are just staring there blankly at him, and he goes, oh, I'm just BSing with you. You can ask me anything you want.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. I like the Pro-Ams. I've always enjoyed playing. First of all, it's playing golf, and I'd rather play than just stand on the range and do my drills. I'm supposed to do them, but I'd rather play.
Yeah.
So the Pro-Am gives me an auto excuse for not doing practice. So you get to see the course one extra time, meet some media legends occasionally, like Mr. Arkansas Golf. So yeah, you get to. I just have always enjoyed the Pro-Ams. I know there's a faction of players that don't like the Pro-Ams, that they have a bad attitude about them, but to me, that's just ridiculous.
In 2017, Stewart, you won the Payne Stewart Award. What does that mean to you?
I think that just is a kind of a respect thing from, it's not something you go out and try to work hard for. You don't campaign for it or anything like that. It's just, I'm honored that enough people out there that have a say, suggested my name for that. But it kind of means that you've kind of held up the integrity and the pillars of character of the game at a pretty high level, and I think you also have to play some pretty good golf and along the way, support your local charities and do things the right way. And that's Payne Stewart. I didn't know him that well. I crossed with him a couple years and played with him 4 or 5 times.
But you knew him when he was on the golf course because of the +4s,
absolutely.
knickers.
And he was like an ultimate competitor. He just wanted to win and play well. Ryder Cup was his thing, and he just wanted to win, and he represented golf in such a great way. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is the way Payne Stewart represented golf. If you're on that award, then you've represented golf fairly well too. And because I love golf, and it's been great to me, and I'm a student of it, then if I've represented it well, then I'm proud of that.
I believe the record is 5 Ryder Cups for you, 4 President's Cups. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to have the American flag and represent it on the golf course?
It's the best. I mean, we don't get to do it that often. And playing with another player, in a format is just, it's so different. And it's just the whole dynamic with the captain. It's just, there's so many things that are different from our week-to-week thing. The wives, everything, it's just a blast. And so playing for the country where I'm born and raised and live, and this is my place, and it's just to be able to do that in kind of a give back way, to like, I want to win for the flag, and I want to win for my captain and for my partner and for my caddy and everybody, for myself. It's just so unique and fun. And all my best friendships now that I have through golf are all because of those team events. Mm-hmm. You just forge these bonds, and like it or not, you're going to be bonded.
Yeah.
And so all my best friendships out on tour are from those.
How do you think Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black this September is going to be? I think it's going to be off the charts.
I do too. I mean, I played in the U.S. Open a couple of times there when they had it, and it was off the chart. That was before I think once the crowd realized that they were part of the story, it just like juiced them so much that there's no turning back. And so they've been part of the story now for like 10 years, ever since they announced Bethpage as a site. Mm-hmm. And everybody who has a ticket there, I don't care if they're from New York or not, they're going to be loud and raucous, and it should be a pro-America crowd.
Should be. I can hear a couple, hey, Rory, F you, boy. I'm sure that's probably going to come out up there.
It probably will.
Oh, my gosh.
It'll be exciting.
Stewart, best golf course you've ever played?
Well, best golf course. See, most people just say, what's your favorite course? And I have a quick answer. And I almost said, boom, St. Andrews, because I love the old course.
Oh, love it.
I love the old course. And to me, there's not even a very close second. But you asked what the best golf course I've ever played is. Mm-hmm. So that's going to require some thought. And I would probably say Muirfield, Scotland is probably the best golf course I've ever played.
Wow.
It's just got the shot values.
The routing.
Yep, the routing, the wind is always different every hole. It's not a true links course where you go up and back. It is a links course on links ground. Mm-hmm. The turf is links, but it doesn't go straight out, straight back. It's all over the place, mm-hmm. and different kinds of curves. There's trouble on one side, then the next side, then the slopes. It just keeps you off balance, and it throws everything at you, and you got to be a complete player to play there, and I think it's the best course I've ever played.
You might have a quick answer to this one. Last question here. Fantasy foursome, living or deceased, you and 3 others that you would like to play a round of golf with.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Not so fast of an answer.
Well, I could answer like a bunch of professionals. I could just quickly say my kids and my dad. Mm-hmm. None of those would be wrong answers, because I would like to fill my foursome up with like about 30 people. But I think the most intriguing answers would be like, I want to see like Bobby Jones or old Tom Morris. Mm-hmm. Let's see how those guys crafted it. And they were the best of their generation. They beat everybody they played with. Byron Nelson, like in the 11 straight year. Are you allowed to go back and pick a time frame?
Anytime.
Like 1945.
You can go back to John Rattray if you want to.
But I think I'd like to see some of the old masters, how they did it, and maybe even get a glimpse of like what the other guys they were playing against were doing, and see how they did it differently. Because Tiger was the best golfer I've ever seen play, and I was in his generation, and I know what it looks like. Well, I know at least what I sense my golf looks like, and what all the other players on tour looked like during that time, and I know what Tiger looked like. So to me, I could tell the difference. I'd like to see Bobby Jones up against his group of competitors. I'd like to see some of the old greats, like the old and young Tom Morris back in the British Open, the cradle of those days.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see a Francis Ouimet.
Yeah, so guys like that. Like, how did they do it? Like, mm-hmm. What did Hogan look like when he played? All the way up till, we kind of know what the modern game looks like, but Arnold Palmer, his mystique is that he's the king, but like what did he look like on the course? Like when he's in contention, when he wins, when he loses. So some of that is what I'd like to see.
Stewart, I can't thank you enough for your time, for inviting me here to Atlanta and taking the time to sit down with me. And it was fun to play 18 holes with you in Little Rock. And hopefully you have a good season on the PGA Tour Champions and you're back in Little Rock in October.
Appreciate it. I look forward to being back. I had a good time playing with you that day. That was fun. And we must have hit it off a little bit because now we're sitting here, 800 miles away talking.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have you here in Atlanta.
Heading to El Dorado to check out some live music or to play Mystic Creek? Stay at the Haywood, the only boutique hotel in the middle of downtown and the Murphy Arts District. If you are spending a weekend in Hot Springs, make plans now at the Marriott Courtyard close to Lake Hamilton and Oaklawn. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group manages both of these fine properties, and you will rest easy knowing that your every need is taken care of. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels on the web at bphotels.com.
The future is not about a bond reaching maturity. The future is what my grandfather worked for. It's what my father carried on. It's my responsibility today. The future is my son's tomorrow. At the Stevens Private Client Group, we believe that our strength builds success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stevens, member NYSE, SIPC. UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine is taking golf to the next level. As the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for Razorback Athletics, UAMS Health covers all 19 Razorback sports programs, including golf, and is the official medical partner of the Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens. They're also proud to sponsor professional golfers Ken Duke and Glenn Day. Have a golf injury? Call Ortho at 501-686-TOSH to schedule your appointment today. That's 501-686-8674. Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. I am Trey Schaap. I want to thank Stewart Cink, not only for his time on the golf course when he was in town for the Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens, but him inviting me down to Atlanta to sit down with him so that I could bring you these last two episodes with him. He's a wonderful man and a great golfer. There's no doubt about that. So, Stewart, thank you. If you missed any of our episodes, and this is the first time you've heard of From the Shortgrass, you can find us anywhere you get your podcast. We are even on YouTube. So check us out, From the Shortgrass. That's all you have to do. Just put that in the search bar, and it will come right up. The Arkansas State Golf Association has its calendar set for this upcoming season. Go to their website, asga.org, and check out all of the championships that could be coming to a course near you. Get out there and play some golf. There's golf for everyone. Junior golf, women's golf, men's golf, senior golf, and yes, even four balls that you can participate in. I don't need to get out of here without thanking one of our great sponsors, Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group, Matthew Allen and Blair Allen. They know how to manage hotel properties. When you need an overnight place to stay, make sure you go to their website, bphotels.com, and check out their full lineup of hotels and properties that they manage. You'll be glad you did when you stay at a Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group property. Remember, when you find your ball mark on the green, always fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you sometime soon from the Shortgrass.
You have been listening to From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network in association with Majestic Cubby Productions.